Um, Hi guys, what went through your mind the first time you read the script to The Art of Getting By?
The thing that really stood out to me when reading it was its incredible sort of relatability, if that's a word. You know, you can relate to everything in it, and it seemed to me to sort of be a kind of, well, incredibly fresh take on those special moments that I think everyone goes through growing up. You know, being in love, leaving school, having sort of certain pressure on you to succeed and wanting to succeed yourself. I think even if I didn't identify with the way George himself perhaps dealt with them, you can easily put yourself in his situation and know what he's going through.
Now it's set in a high school. What were you like as students, you two?
I was homeschooled, so I was a pretty average student, I'm going to say. I mean, I most of the time did my work. I had a hard time focusing, but I don't know, I like to do my own thing. I didn't like going by the curriculum. Like, I like to read I love to read, but I would only read books that, like, weren't assigned to me. And so, yeah, but I've stuck to reading. I read, like, a book a week, so I guess that's good. It's good for my education, but I was not good at science and math or any of that stuff. Still, I'm horrible.
No, I wish I'd read a bit more, actually. Emma is incredibly well read. Yeah, no, I think I was right at school. I mean, I always combined the two together, and I think that was kind of important to me, you know, having a sort of normal life to go back to at home instead of being completely tied to doing films the whole time. So, no, I've enjoyed sort of combining the two throughout, yeah. So,
Emma, can you recommend any books for us then?
Oh my God, you've been putting me on the spot.
Sorry.
I have a hard time recommending books that I'm trying to think of that are appropriate, like for.
Or your favourite classics?
Okay, we'll talk about classics. I mean, I just reread The Great Gatsby, which I love, and I actually read it for school and was not that into it, and then I reread it, and I was like, this is such an amazing book. And Breakfast at Tiffany's, the book, it's one of my favorite movies, and I read it's a short story, and it's so good.
There we go. Now, these two characters are very different teenagers. What do you think is the hardest part of, like, growing up as a teenager?
I think, well, something that's hard about being a teenager that I think is also in The Art of Getting By is just, you know, kind of coming into yourself, like figuring out who you are as a person and how you want to be in, you know, your circle of friends, with your family, with yourself, and that can be really challenging, I think, and really, I don't know, I think that's just the hardest part, at least it was for me.
Yeah, I think just working out who you want to be and realising that you don't have to be sort of forced down a certain path or become someone that you don't want to be. I think that's really what George struggles with, and Sally helped him out in. At the start, he's kind of plays up to the fact that he might be a bit quirky or a bit different, and feels comfortable in the situation in the class when he's the one who hasn't done his homework. And I think that as he grows up and gets by, he realizes he realizes that that he can sort of choose who he wants to be and doesn't have to be sort of forced into playing up to a certain role.
Now, as the movie is a romance, what dating advice have you got for the UK teenagers out there?
For the UK teenagers?
Dating advice? Do you have any dating advice?
Or give us.
I don't have any dating advice.
I'd say
that
go
anyone
for
should
it.
be
I think
using.
that's certainly the often when you're young, the toughest thing about it. You know, thinking, oh, what will she think if I if I say, can we go to the cinema or can we go and have a meal? And I think just getting over that first,
we go to the cinema.
That sort of the first step, especially when you're younger, it's hard to take. But I think just go for it, and there's not really too much you can lose. Don't you think? Go for it.
Yeah, and I think to girls, don't go on a date with someone if they ask you over text, in my opinion.
Yeah. Really?
Boys don't call you anymore. I'm so confused.
Oh, I don't. I call.
They really should. Do you call?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I believe you that you call. Don't. Yeah. I think it's so when you ask someone on a date over text. Hello. No.
Can you just?
Call somebody.
Where's the best place for the first date then?
I mean, I think the old movie and dinner, just because then if it's going really bad, you have something to talk about, like the movie
or
that you
just
guys
sit
saw.
and watch the film in silence.
Yeah.
So go and see The Art of Getting By.
Yeah, go and see The Art of Getting By so you have something to talk about at your date.
Brilliant. Thank you, guys.
Perfect.
Thank you.